we are going to talk about box office first. And this one, Sonic does beat its previous record, $71 million domestic debut, which is very good for a movie. I was wrong originally. I thought the budget was exactly the same as the previous one, but it got a bump. It has a budget of $110 million, which is still not that much for considering the project. But yeah, it was like what was it? $85 million was the budget of the original Sonic movie. This one was a budget of 110, which means that if you take the principle of take the budget and then times it by 1.5, that gives you marketing. So it needs to make about 165 million to break even, which I think it will do handily without any problem. So
it did 70 domestic.
It did $71 million domestic debut. Okay. So wow. It says Paramount's family action comedy Sonic the Hedgehog 2 raced to an estimated $71 million domestic debut, setting a record for the biggest opening weekend of all time for a video game adaptation in North America. I do love the made up firsts that Hollywood's obsessed with. First movie written by someone born on the 3rd of March during the during the year of the rat.
Finally,
that's awesome.
That's what they love. They love. There's a movie called Little Big League. It was a baseball movie about the Minnesota Twins from the 90s. And there's a stats guy on the show that would always give weird stats that aren't really stats. It's third time being thrown out at third on the fourth Thursday in the off season.
It's a great gag.
Or no, that might have been. I'm sorry, that was Major League. It was one of the two. It was either. No, I think it was Little Big League. One of the two. It might have been. You remember? I
think
both,
it was
right?
Little Big League. That was the one with John Candy in the booth, right?
No.
Am I thinking of Rookie of the Year? I conflate those two sometimes.
That was Rookie of the Year.
Man, that gag sounds familiar, and I haven't seen
Little Big
Major
League had the actual Minnesota Twins, the actual Twins announcer doing it.
Oh,
in
gotcha.
that one.
Oh, well.
So. And it also had the best scene ever because Ken Griffey Jr. plays a total heel in the movie.
Yeah.
Plays a bad guy. Ken Griffey Jr. is my favorite baseball player of all time, and just seeing him be a dick to everyone is the greatest thing ever. It's also got Randy Johnson in it. So it says Paramount's pair of Sonic movies provide a bookend to the pandemic era box office. This is it's really surreal to be reporting on this now because this was a big thing for me. For a lot of years, I've listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff that involve these industries. Usually while out at work or doing something at my job, listening to this type of stuff. And I just remember Sonic, them talking about Sonic right as COVID was starting. It was a big deal that it did this great first weekend, and then all of a sudden this movies just fell off a cliff a couple of weeks later. So it says the first one opened to $58 million over Valentine's weekend in 2020, one of the last films to open in North America without being directly impacted by public health concerns. Greenlit, produced, and released during the pandemic, the sequel exceeded all pre-release. Okay, is it really the pandemic still? Does that still count? I have to ask.
No.
I mean, for as long as this,
thinking about all of the movie theaters that have been permanently shut down.
Yeah, for as long as we've done this podcast, I've railed against the excuse of COVID when Spider-Man: No Way Home makes $1 gazillion, and then the next week another movie comes out but COVID, and I'm no, you're just making bad movies. You can't make that excuse anymore. You don't get that excuse anymore. So it says it's coming to a 22% above the original as far as opening weekend. So 20% above the 2019 family sequel Jumanji, which ended up doing really well based on longevity. It seemed like it was just in the theaters forever, and did really, really well. So it says earned $37 million across 53 overseas markets, and it was already been out for a week overseas as well. So let's see. Let's go down to the numbers down here at the very bottom. So Sonic opens to $71 million at 4,234 screens. 10 million. Ooh, Morbius fell. What percent did they fall? Oh my goodness. 10 million. It doesn't list the percentages here. Normally it gives you a percent what the fall was week to week, and it's not giving me a percentage, but it made 49 million last week and it made 10 million this weekend. Is anybody here good at math? No?
Don't look at me.
Nobody good at math. Okay.
Not even close.
Ambulance only brought in 8 million. That bums me out. And it couldn't even beat The Lost City, which only brought in 9 million. So that kind of kills me a little bit because I was hoping it would do better than that. But we will see. So Morbius crosses $100 million globally. I know that, with global box office. So it says What's the last one I want to look at? So basically, it needs to be if it's over 100 million now with global box office, it needs to make another 65 million from to break even on the film. And if the average drop is like less than 50%, if it'll have about a 50% drop next week, so it'll make what, like another 40 million domestically next weekend, maybe 35 to 40 million. That puts it well in there with you if you count global as well. We'll probably put it over 165 million by next week. So hopefully into week 2 it's already making or en route to making profit. Whether that's true or not, we'll see. But it's a win for something where we loved it. We reviewed it. Like it does not try to be something it's not. It's absolutely a family-friendly movie. Like, take the kids to go see it. The kids will love Jim Carrey, and the adults will love Jim Carrey for different reasons. So I highly recommend everyone go out and go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and encourage studios to make more movies and to be more open to the idea that when you make changes because people ask for it and you actually listen to the fans, we will go out there and support you with our money, because that's the only way you can make changes in this industry. A lot of people believe that's a lost cause. I'm kind of on board with that. We'll get a gem like this every once in a while, but a lot of people don't want to try anymore. But I'm willing to support them if they're going to at least try to make stuff that people actually want to see. So
right on.
Yep. All right. So, oh boy, Jussie Smollett. We can't play the song on here, not because of copyright, but because we don't want you to file assault claims against us.
But we're going to buy the song.
I want to buy.
So it's our new outro.
We want the rights to this song. So Jussie Smollett drops new song after jail release. Think I'm stupid enough to kill my reputation. Yes. Yes, we do believe that you are stupid enough to kill your reputation. You guys, don't take my word for it. Go listen, at least go to TMZ and listen to the 1 minute and 40-second version. That's all you'll need to hear.
It's called Thank You God.
It's called it's truly awful. It's truly, you listen to it. Would you buy a Jussie Smollett album?
That would be, rights to this song would be what, like $20?
I think he should pay us. I think he should pay us to use it. Yes.
Hey, Penny.
Him and Joe Casey from Marvel can get together and talk about royalties. About the song.
I have no words. I mean, it was so humiliating just listening to it.
It doesn't. It's not even rapping. It's basically just talking.
Spoken word to a SoundCloud beat.
Yes, it's at the and SoundCloud's being generous. That could have been Pirate Bay. Like that could have been like a starter.
AI generated.
They cut out all the thing where it says like mixtape.com. Like,
I mean, even if you just had no context for the little clip that you played for me, it's just like, this is just dreadful.
The production is also really awful because he's like really muffled. And like it doesn't sound like you know.
Did we record it on the inside?
No. That would be amazing if there was a story behind it.
I mean, it's an excuse. That's like, not a good one. But.
I mean, but the one thing is, I could see this song going viral, like on TikTok or like people using it.
I hope so.
Like in like really funny ways.
I'll be checking on that.
It deserves a skewering on TikTok.
Yeah. So it says, he sings, some people chasing that clout. Just remember this. This ain't a situation you think I'm stupid enough to kill my reputation. Somehow that rhymed better here than it did.
It did.
In the recording. Yeah. Like in the recording, it didn't actually sound like it rhymed. That actually sounded like it rhymed.
Did he have a ghostwriter? That's what I want to know. Or was this all in his jail cell?
Was it a ghostwriter who secretly hates him? Because if so, that explains a lot about the song.
Yeah.
See, what I think would be cool is if he he wrote this song and he did it it became a Subway jingle. Like a Subway sandwich jingle, and then he partners with Subway, and just goes and becomes their spokesperson before, like, if he doesn't go back to jail. That would be pretty cool.
I could respect that.
I could respect, like, and like, I don't know if he lives in Chicago anymore or if he's living purely in LA, but he needs to, if he's going to make a music career, he should make an actual go of it and not whatever this was, because it was embarrassing.
I disagree. It was a masterpiece.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And I've been dying to say this. He put his whole Jussie Smollett into this.
He dedicates the song to the people who kept it real, who kept it true.
Who?
Corporate press.
Basically, not him. Like my favorite was like they showed him in solitary, and it says Jussie Smollett has been locked up with his attacker.
Yes.
He says that he's donating all the profits from the track to the Rainbow Push Coalition, Secure the Bag Safety in the Illinois Innocence Project. So there's essentially no shame.
They're like, we'll take your money, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and he has no shame. As you know, a jury found Jussie guilty of 5 of the 6 felony counts against him for lying to Chicago police. We all know all that's about. It's unimportant. Guys, go to TMZ and listen to... Actually, no. Don't do this to yourself. Go listen to the whole thing. But do not file assault claims on me because your ears bleed. It's not my fault. I did not make you do it. This is your disclaimer. Mm-hmm. You do not need to go and listen to that. Please don't blame me. No, who should he have been on the track with? Should he have featured somebody else on there?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Is there anybody?
90s Will Smith.
Yes. No. He should have just said modern day Will. Him or Chris Rock could have been on there with him.
Well, Will doesn't really rap anymore, so I'm thinking like I want to hear like Big Willie style.
Chris Rock had a very an excellent song called Champagne.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's classic.
That's a good song. It is classic.
That's an absolute. I don't think he actually does the singing on that song. It's a woman who does the singing on that song, but he does cuss a lot in the background. And,
yeah.
That's an absolute classic. So there is precedent for Chris Rock performing music. All right, and I got one more thing I want to cover because I'm going to cover this stuff every time it comes up. If you want to own stuff, buy physical media because you get screwed. We covered this before. Disney basically edited out. First, they edited out violent scenes from Falcon and the Winter Soldier because Disney Plus, because they can't have violent content on Disney now. But for some reason, they brought the Marvel Netflix shows and put them on Disney because they own the rights to them. Netflix is basically just leasing them, right? So they could have put them on Hulu, which would have made way more sense. But instead, they put them on Disney, and now they have to use like a parental filter to be able to watch it. And what they did is they removed blood and violent scenes from it. Like there's a scene where a character shot backwards, and you see blood. I think it was digitally done. It didn't look like a squib. It's removed, and then on the ground in the original shot, his eyes are open. And in this one, they close his eyes and there's no blood stain on his chest, whereas it was visible in the first one. So they do all this vague editing, which they're kind of doing now, where it's like that when Hawkeye came out, they're like, no, like in the IMDb section, I don't know if it ended up being 100% true. It said, the first Marvel show where nobody dies. I'm like, so what you're saying is there's no stakes in a superhero show? Perfect. And then what they did is they edited out the Stan Lee cameo and like in a We Love You Stan at the end of the Punisher series because it ends with a bunch of Punisher violence of a bunch of people dying and with bloody gunfire. And they somehow felt that, I guess that was disrespectful to like show this scene of extreme violence and then say, we love you, Stan. Like, so they cut it out. But people complained, and now they put it back. So that's what we're gonna have to do now.
Did they put the violence back?
They didn't. From what I understand, they didn't edit the violence out. They just edited out the cameo because they felt it was in bad taste to put it after that scene, right? So the fans complained, and they put it back, and that's what's going to keep happening. They're going to keep gently making edits to things, and you're going to have like really bad Mandela effect in like 20 years where everything's going to be a little bit different and you're going to have no idea why, and we're all going to go nuts. Like, think about that.
This is why we need VHS back.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, or just get a DVD, bro.
Yeah.
Just get a DVD player. They don't. I mean, I would prefer VHS. I loved VHS, but that's just me. So it says, once again, Disney Plus has restored the original versions of some of the Marvel shows, this time restoring the tributes to Stan Lee and Reg E. Cathy on the final episodes of The Punisher and Luke Cage. Following the arrival of the former Netflix Marvel series on Disney Plus, some fans have expected that they could possibly be making cuts to the frequently adult-themed shows such as Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and The Punisher. However, what was not expected was the removal of tributes to Marvel legend Stan Lee and Luke Cage star Kathy. I think it's pronounced Kathy, but that guy's awesome. And he kind of looks like taller. You kind of look like Tony Todd in a way at first, but then like you look at him up close and he doesn't. So because they both had like this really unique look to them. And it led to a certain amount of outcry amongst fans on social media, as it should. It's the only way you're gonna have to, which is why you need to buy actual copies of the stuff that you like. Yes. But these shows don't have like physical copy releases. So if they want to make changes, you're going to have to sail the high seas, which I don't advocate for. Please do not do that.
Well, you are now.
I'm just telling him what they would have to do if Disney
Hypothetically, purely hypothetically.
Right.
If they hadn't changed everything back, that's what they would have had to do. So it says it now looks like Disney has once again been backtracking on edits that can only be assumed to have been done by accident.
Oh, come on.
I love that idea that there's some dude who just like slipped on a banana peel in an editing room and hit a button, and then the scene, like a magical editing machine just removed blood, maybe. And he's like, "Oh no! I hope I don't accidentally send it to the server." Boop. Oh no! I guess it's now on live on our site. Like the amount of hands it would have to go through for that to happen is like only a moron actually believes that.
Yeah.
You could theoretically say that maybe they made an edited version that was for like a TV. Like, you know, like when they would put movies on television and they edit stuff down for content, but it's Disney Plus, so it's not going
that
on
doesn't
TV.
make sense.
But I love the idea that it's Disney's like, oh, sorry, we don't know how that was Jim, the editor. He gets drunk sometimes on the weekend, and he just comes in and he messes with our hard drives. Sorry, we'll
start smashing the keyboard.
Yeah, like it was Jim. He's always been a troublemaker. We've given him a reprimand. We put the old version back. See, I want to see that movie too. I want to see a movie of a guy who just goes in and makes edits to things and somehow manages to actually get
There's like an office cat that just walks over.
They've got like a mascot, or it's a mouse. It's a Disney. It's Disney, so it's a mouse.
Oh, sure.
So they've got a mouse, a pet mouse, named what would the pet mouse's name be? We'd have to give him Steamboat Willie the Mouse.
Steamboat Willie.
There you go.
Steamboat Willie the Mouse is walking around, and he just walks on. And the
He's
problem
hopping.
is Jim doesn't lock his office door where his editing suite is, and the mouse gets in there, and he's like, he just starts dancing, and he leaves the project open even the show's been out for like a year. Like that file is still open on the computer, and it just happens by accident to shows that got complained about by the parents to. The decency committees and stuff like that. So, you know, we're sorry that we edited that out. It was a total accident. So I want to see that. I want to see Jim slip on a banana peel and fall on his keyboard and have like
Actually, Steamboat Willie slipped on a banana peel.
A little mini rat banana peel.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like Mario Kart in there. It's perfect. and what in the outcome is always crazy edits to scenes that people are going to then later complain about. It never just deletes a scene entirely.
Oh yeah, it's very clean.
It's
very
like,
clean accidental cut.
He accidentally removed blood. He accidentally opened like a 3D rendering program and like I guess like an editing program and an effects program and did it himself.
That's
What do you mean?
that's
You
such a
don't
pathetic
believe
thing to
Disney?
say.
I don't know. Of course I believe
Wow.
Disney. Why wouldn't I believe Disney? Like why would they lie? Why would they lie? So, do you expect this to be more of a problem? Like, I haven't seen anything like this happen with any of the other streaming services that I watch, but Disney kind of has their reputation of being family friendly, so it makes sense. But come on.
It seems like they're trying to sort out exactly what they want to allow on their platform and what they don't.
They should have decided that earlier.
You'd think they would, but I mean, clearly they
one
haven't.
job.
Yeah.
Like,
But parents believe the word Disney equals kid friendly, and people just need to like walk that back because that is not true.
there's not to mention content just gets old, like dates itself. There was a Disney movie in the late 90s or early 2000s
I know what you're
called Brink.
Yeah.
A rollerblading movie. And there's a fantastic scene where Val, the bad guy, who did rollerblade in real life, by the way, Sam Horrigan, the guy who played that character, he looks at a character named Gabriella, and he says, if you don't like it here, why don't you go back to Mexico?
Wow.
Like, I don't know if that version is still on there or if they edited that out, but holy
Big
crap.
disclaimer
I think
up front.
There's also one called like The Color of Friendship where like white girls start calling their black friend the N-word.
What?
I didn't watch it, but that's like what I heard.
Oh,
They
man.
have that on Disney Plus right now.
So Disney is not without its sins.
Sure.
And I love the idea that can you imagine having to be like the person who has to watch all the old content and then because they have like what are called not intimate like they have intimacy coordinators for scenes, but like they have like basically trigger warning people who read through stuff and say like, this could be offensive to this group, this could be offensive to this group. Could you imagine having to watch through Disney's old stuff and just having to be like, oh my God, it's all offensive to someone? Because there's nothing that would go without at least being offensive to at least some group now.
We'll put it this way: if your job is to sort through old Disney content and decide what's offensive, I can't. I just wish the most torture on you. I mean, no, not physical torture, of course. I'm not advocating for violence or anything.
No, of course not.
I hope that it's a very painful experience for you.
I hope you listen to Jussie Smollett's song.
Yeah.
Well,
repeat for 10 hours.
Yes.
While doing so.
But still, you're safe and wouldn't want anybody to be hurt.
Disney
at all.
pays for the therapy afterwards that you have to go
Sure,
through.
as well they should.
Well they should.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yes, Disney has its work cut out for it to not be censorious, but I don't think that they're going to be any better at it than that. So
Right.
We'll see. I'm going to keep like I said, I know it gets repetitive, but I will bring it up every single time something like this happens because they need to be called out for it because we should be encouraging people to buy physical media as often as possible.
Yes.
So, yes.
Big believer in DVDs. Always have been, still am. Still got my collection.
I left mine in Minnesota. I should.
Do you miss it?
I put most of them onto like a hard drive. I took the
gotcha.
time to put most of them on a hard drive so that I don't have to, same with TV shows, so I don't have to put a new disc in every time. Like long before I was streaming most stuff, I would put it all on hard drive so that I could just put it in a queue. And
Special features too?
no, that's the one thing I lost out on is not having the DVD commentary is the
Those
hardest
are the
part.
real gems, man.
The
Those special features that came with those double discs.
The commentary is what I love the most because it gives you the most insight into
Some great commentaries out there.
the commentaries for old movies are great.
You got a favorite? Like one of your favorite go-to commentaries?
Do I have that would be her. I think it was Van Wilder
Oh yeah.
has a really funny commentary
Nice.
if I remember correctly. I love the commentary for Heat.
Who's on it? Just Michael Mann?
Yeah, it was Mann and not the stars of the movie, but Mann, and then there was another version. I had a girlfriend who never let me. She would make me watch the movie A Walk to Remember with audio commentary on, and I had to like look, not nuts. But like not like I wanted to be anywhere but in that room, but it was like the commentary with like Mandy Moore and like Shane West or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like again, I'm like, really? I'd rather just watch the movie than the commentary of this.
Oh yeah.
So.
That sounds pretty dull.
What about you?
Ooh, there's so many good ones, but an all-time high for commentaries is the screenwriter for Speed.
Oh yeah.
He has an awesome commentary, just like poking holes and making fun of every mistake that he made in the script, and it's really entertaining.
Yep.
That's a good one.
It's they do it well for TV shows too. They pick like big episodes, and we'll do that for
The Simpsons did it for every episode in those early days of the DVD releases, and those are great commentaries.
That'd be good. Like, because there's usually one of those things where like once I start it, like I would like it for every episode, but it's like you're not gonna get that. They don't have the time
not
time
anymore.
for that. So yeah. So you're so do you even know what a DVD commentary is?
No.
No.
Closest I can think of is like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh my god.
You know what? There's a whole I found on live cable. There's a whole MSTK3 channel that just plays it on a loop. Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
It is good.
Yeah, my wife hates it.
Hates Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, every time I put it on, it gets an eye roll. And I'm
Yeah.
just like laughing my ass off. I think it's very funny. I love Mystery Science Theater.
The pangs of marriage.
Yeah, hey.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.